Hi, everyone, and welcome to Culture of Paint. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at what's caught our eye over the last few weeks in the miniatures painting world. For our main topic, we'll be covering the recent Monte San Savino 2024, and we'll close out, as usual, taking a look at what the paint cultists have been up to. Now, Culture of Paint's aimed at a mature audience, so we might use explicit language and discuss adult themes. So let's talk about paint. Right, we're back in. The chat's there. It's working. I can't hear myself. Everything's great. Right, hi everyone. I'm Henry, and joining me as usual are Matt and Andy. How are we, chaps?
Hello.
We're good.
Good.
Right, been a little while. Those of you who haven't watched the cult catch-up episode, this is not October. That is 2 years on the trot now. We've had October episodes ready to go, and they've failed. So fingers crossed. I think maybe me and Matt will just have to get some time together and just record some sort of Orc Megasode at some point, and just fire that one up. But congratulations on that October competition, Matt. It was fantastic. Loved looking through it. Absolute belters in there.
Nice stuff.
And I thought really cool as well to see non-G-dub Orc stuff, like plenty of it, because there's some really cool.
There's a lot
really,
of
really
Orc
cool.
like busts and large 75 stuff around these days. A lot of WoW stuff.
Yeah, definitely a lot of that inspired type things. Well, it was great seeing Thibaut's Boar Rider as well. Again, I'd forgot about that. That was really, really, really cool one. Right, well, let's jump into it. I'm driving the slides, so I'm sorry, everyone. Picks of the week. Last few weeks, what have we seen? What's tickled our pickles? Let's have a look. What's up first? Oh, here we go.
Buy my stuff. Please buy my products. Yeah, it's my pick. But this is a commission that we got from Mark Masclans, who doesn't do box arts anymore. So I don't know if you knew that, Henry, but he doesn't do them anymore. So this is his only box art of 2024.
There we go.
Which is lovely. He did it just for us. So yeah, super happy with this. But yeah, I need to let you borrow it for a while because I keep looking at it. But it's now my favorite miniature I own in the house, so it's kind of nice to have it. But yeah, our mini, amazing paint job, lovely.
It's insane in the reel. That bird, like under fur, so good.
I think it's feathers,
it was really
mate.
nice. Really nice for people enjoying that in real life and coming up and telling you that they like it rather than just a comment on Instagram or something. So that was a lovely experience. I enjoyed it.
No, that's great. And I saw Mark had posted up a few more pictures of the hawk, particularly on his. I think he likes painting feathers and birds quite a lot. So be interested to see where he goes with that. But yeah, wonderful job. So this is the Sayatem bust from our Daygard 2 Kickstarter. Link will be down in the description. Yeah. Can't fault it, really, can you? It was a pretty obvious one to ask Mark to do as well. This one, when we were,
I think he said yes because of the bird. I think that persuaded him.
It's a big old chonk, that bird. Like, no, it's nice. It's really, really nice.
The bowstring as well, so good. By just putting that on,
I had to remember to write a caption on the Kickstarter page: bowstring not included, just in case. But it's something you very, very, very occasionally see people do it at gaming size, whether that's 28 mil, 32 mil, or whatever. But is it a more common thing to see when people do it on the larger scales and busts?
I think you kind of have to.
Right.
It just works a bit easier. Like larger scales, the string doesn't look like a pillar.
Or a piece of
scale's
cotton.
Better, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, he's actually been able to entwine it, hasn't he?
And there will be a tutorial how to do it, so that's cool.
Joshua Lay is just saying he wants the bird in the bird on a post.
Chocolate, yeah.
Bird in the post.
That would be cool, actually. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. You never know. We might get a little one that's not quite right to sell. If we do, we'll stick it in so you can have an extra bird if you order the order the bust. Well, I'm hoping
this will be my next project as well. Is my last thing to say.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah.
So you're doing the foot duel at the moment, aren't you? And then
Foot Duel finished the Dark Elf today. So
lovely.
Do the other Light Elf, and then onto this bust. So I'm doing quite a quick job on the duel, but I want to go really slow on this bust. So nice
looking forward to that.
Mix that up.
I think it'll look fab. And guys, if you want to know a bit more about this character and the rest of it, then check out our cult catch up from last week, where we sort of delve into all the different characters and the sculpts that we've had done for this second season of Daeguard. So next up, what we got? Now this isn't necessarily the last week or so, but it's something I wanted to talk about whenever we were due to do the last recording. And this is a buddy of ours, Mike. And I just wanted to. One, I'm really itching to do some scenery. I'm also really into Lord of the Rings stuff at the minute. And thirdly, I just love it when you see a mate really starting to progress. Mike got interested in sculpting. He's an excellent painter, but he got interested in sculpting, I'd say, I don't know, properly maybe 3 years ago. He'd always done tons of conversions and stuff before that, but he's getting more and more sort of involved in it now. And he prints stuff, he casts stuff. When I say print stuff, I mean the I don't really know how to describe this. You can almost see on the picture. Can you see the layer lines going up the side of what would be the steps, sort of as if it was a plinth? So it's all cut on, I think, MDF. But he'll use various different, not CNC, but that type of thing to build sort of
modeling block.
Right, modeling block. Yeah. And then he's using all these different resins and clays and just really delving into proper old school physical sculpting. And I'm just really enjoying watching it. It's a great Instagram account to go follow. Mike's really active. And yeah, just been really, really enjoying it. This is essentially his army at the minute. He's sort of making, that's what I can gather, he's making sort of dioramas for the whole army. So for when it sits on the shelf or whatever. So this one's got Björn from Heresy Space Wolves fighting some Alpha Legion and stuff on it. It just looks super cool. But the bit that's really got me is just how good his scenery stuff is. I've got a piece, I don't know where it is. I've got his first ever, I can't think where I put it now. Got his first ever sculpt he did of this really cool Mortime-esque sort of bridge with an underbit. I keep popping models on it, trying to figure out a little scene to do one day. So, but yeah,
he's done a load for his Titanica stuff as well, hasn't he?
It's just he's a very he's a top tier hobbyist. You wouldn't expect Mike to not be getting nominated or win best armies when he does them. Because it's excellent painting, and then on top of that, just insane levels of sort of customization and imagination. And it's just joy to watch. He's got a phenomenal White Scars Horus Heresy army, loads of jet bikes, loads of other stuff as well, and there so much of it are almost mini dioramas on the bases and stuff. So I really hope next year I get the opportunity to just spend a bit of time and do some terrain. And I haven't really got the space for a table, but actually doing maybe look at it and doing small scenes like this might be a fun way sort of into doing it. He's in the chat. There we are. That's handy. Well, that's embarrassing, Mike. Anyway, but hopefully we'll see quite a few of you in the chat. I hope we haven't lost you from our month off. But yeah, so that's my pick of the month. As ever, all the accounts that we can find, talk about, and people that have them that we talk about will pop down in the description, so you can go and check them out, which is going to become even more important as Instagram continues to go to shit.
Really bad.
Finding recommendations is going to be more and more important. And then last up, I think, is your pick, isn't it, Matt?
It is.
There we go. Check this out.
This was so good. Just a brilliant idea and just really well executed.
It's great account as well. I didn't know it, and I've been going through it today, getting the slides ready. They do great stuff, eh? So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's both Mass Clan's busts on a motorbike. Very sort of California sort of style, isn't it?
It's so imaginative, though, the way the plinth is that shape.
Yeah.
And so the right arm normally's got the axe in, right?
Yeah, he's had to re-sculpt or pose sort of which is probably not an easy task, but did it.
Yeah, nailed it. Well, it looks like you could have bought it, right?
Yeah.
As that's always impressive. And I don't know, I'm getting strong Gillian Anderson vibes from that bird on the back as well. Don't know, just me.
That paint job makes it look like that, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, as Matt says, these are a couple of busts by Mark, who we featured a couple of slides ago. So yeah, sorry boys, if I keep forgetting the chat, I'll try and keep my eye on it, but I'm not used to. So I've got out of the habit of this. Let's have a look. We've got any questions going? Oh, Andy, how's your arm?
Yep, had the stitches out today.
Good.
So I will have a funny scar which looks like an arrow pointing up, and that's it. Back to painting normally, which is nice. So
good man.
And I can
Nick...
grip now. So yeah, all good.
Excellent. Do you guys pick up any busts and bits and bobs at Monte? What's it like?
No shops.
There's no shops at all.
I mean, there's like one or two. Ken still manages to spend like 500 quid.
Fortune.
So.
Should not be allowed a bank account.
You have like Chimera and Picasso, and yeah, not a lot really. So yeah, nothing.
Just a handful of good ones.
There was a little like stall in that down by the military ordnance hall in the school. It was like selling a load of like little like brass etch things, and there was a load of like manhole covers. I was like, damn, I should have picked them up.
Well, you need to talk to Todd, mate. I mean, that lad's obsession with brass etch bits. Yeah, I think that's really big, isn't it, in scale modeling and Gundam is the brass etch stuff. So yeah, he'll be our Discord chief. Todd will be who's also confirmed he's here for MPO next year, which is quality. So
he's staying a bit longer this time.
Yeah,
flying
and we're
out.
we're gonna have a little go off on a jolly in my camper van as well when he's over. So it should be a giggle. But yeah, Big Todd will be on the merch stand for everyone there next year. But yeah, I'm so impressed with this conversion, mate. I think you get. I don't know what it is. I love seeing people take the bigger scale stuff and muck around with it, because I do wonder if there's a tendency just to paint it out of the box more often than not, or perhaps it's just more the sample size and you just don't see as many of the conversions or kit bashes or whatever you want to call it.
I think it's nice to see two commercial models used like this. And that's quite imaginative, right? Just taking two things. And I love all the one-off stuff that you see at Monte, and I'll be doing that next year, creating a one-off. But it is nice to see something you can just go and buy, and they've just been creative with that thing. So yeah, I do love the one-offs, but this is just cool.
I guess this is that sort of happy medium, isn't it? This it's not straight out the box, as it were, but there's a little bit of imagination gone into it. A lot of imagination, to be fair, and it's just really well done. Yeah.
I also really like how the sort of the wind movement matches on both of them across of it, which I don't think probably the original sculptor intended, but it works.
I think. Do you know
what is redone the hair or something?
What I like about it is we sort of the last couple of years it was all about backdrops, right? And you've got these busts, and I think one of the challenges you'll have with a bust is how do you place it? How do you give it context to the viewer? And I just think this is an incredibly imaginative way of giving it a story and giving it context, and without using a backdrop. Yeah, just super impressed. I would love to see this, and I think they've been really popular, the sculpts by Mark as well, which is great. These are my two favourites that he's done. Yeah, it's just a cracking job.
Have to get over to Monte at last.
That will never happen, mate. Sadly, the dates don't work. Except, well, maybe in a few years' time if I can bring someone with me. But the dates don't work for me, sadly, for Monte. But that's why we've got you chaps on. There we go. Todd's in the chat now to have a talk about the whole thing and take us with you on your experience in a minute. But we do, for once, have a meme of the week, even though our Rich is not here. I know. So there was a huge Games Workshop reveals show over the weekend just gone. I think what I can gather, it's been widely well received. Andy and I are going to be recording a shorter podcast about that to go out this week as well. Just focusing in on that GW reveal show rather than us sort of touching on it here. But there was we were having a natter about what we liked and what we really liked, and the subject of Phoenix Lords came up, and what was our favourites and what ones maybe weren't done, were done and better than the others. And then Andy said he'd found an amazing meme, so I'll leave you to decide. Is this like so good? Is this an Always Sunny meme or something? I don't know. Looking at it, yeah,
I have no idea, but I just like seeing the helmets photoshopped on real people. It's just always funny.
Yeah, great work.
Poor Karandras.
Hey, still looks good. Still looks handsome. There, look at him.
Yeah, but put him next to the other ones now.
Just like coming up to their crotch, isn't he? It's like...
ankle levels.
I'm okay. I've got my favourite, so I'm happy.
Well, as I say, we'll dive right into that in a fully dedicated show. But yeah, this one had me proper chuckling.
I do like how everyone's photoshopping out the mouth on socials of the one with the mouth open.
Oh, a Zerman.
Yeah.
That's my. I really, really like that sculpt, and I can't decide if I do or don't like the mask. I think because it's so different to the old one. But I certainly don't dislike it, like some people apparently do. But then, do you remember we had it when the Dark Reapers came out, didn't we? There was a lot of imaginative Photoshop work going on. Or if you're Rich Gray, just sanding it off and painting on completely.
There's no sanding; you just freehands for those skulls.
Is it not? They're sculpted into it though, right? So he has to fill it and sand it off, doesn't he, to paint it in? Is that right?
There's a little mouth, but I don't know whether he just paints around that.
Very good, very good. But yeah, don't want to dive too much into these. But amazing reveal, very exciting. I hope everybody got something they liked. So the meat of the episode, Monte San Savino. And if you go back through the various 4 years of the podcast now, I think it is, we cover Monte each year. We normally cover sort of the bigger shows like SMC, Golden Demon, Monte, MPO. And I thought this year it was a little bit different. Matt and Andy were over there along with some friends of ours and other people we know. But Andy this time was judging, which I thought might be an interesting perspective to have a little natter about. And obviously Matt was there with his, Louis Theroux voyeur camera. Camera vibes. Was it just phone camera? Was that it?
Just phone camera.
Bit loving it. Proper undercover. If it's yeah, well, let's start. I'm just trying to read the chat. I'll get back in the habit with that, guys. Sorry if it's a bit stilting at the moment. But yeah, so we thought we'd look through a few of our favourites, and then some of the best offs as well. So, guys, for those who aren't aware or haven't seen those shows or are new to this, Monte San Savino, sum it up. What is it? Where is it?
The best miniature painting show in the world. Mainly because of its rural location in Tuscany, in a beautiful town in Italy. And yeah, it's been going on for many years now. And I don't know, you just can't beat it for food, location. And there's quite a barrier to getting there, a bit of commitment. And that kind of means everyone there is very into the hobby and also very open to chatting with everyone. So there is no clickiness. It's just hanging out having a drink in a courtyard, basically. That's all there is to it, really. It's pretty accurate, isn't it, Matt? Have I forgot any of the main things?
That's basically it. It's a social with a miniature painting competition attached.
But just kind of like sandals, but for miniature nerds, yeah? Is that what you're getting at?
Sandals?
I don't know what that is.
Well, we'll move on then. So next up with the slide.
Me and Matt are like, what, mate?
So we thought we'd have a look at a few of the best ofs that we picked, and we're kicking off with that man again, Mr. Masklance.
He should be attentive to these teeth.
I did say a while back, 2 months ago, that I think this might be the paint job of the year, and we've got a few weeks left, and I'll think about it. But I'm still thinking this is paint job of the year for me. Funnily enough, the one in the thumbnail is not this one, because he actually did two. They're slightly different, but equally as good. But yeah, this was pretty amazing in the reels, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, this was just, it popped, that yellow just popped off of the shelf. It was just insane. I don't know how he does it.
Well, he's very good painter, isn't he?
I think the reason I like it so much is it's kind of the perfect blend of miniature painting with the artistic style, and there's some really interesting things on it which totally work. And the teeth are really well rendered. They're like perfect, super clean, super sharp. But then if you look at the ear, there's just a few brush strokes, just like and he said that it's all purposeful. It kind of fades away, so it's just insanely detailed. And I think that people might do that, and it might look a bit lazy or something like that, but it just works. And I like that artistic side of it. If it's kind of not perfect, but it is. I mean, look at it.
Yeah, it just was so good. Like, photos never like really do things justice, but it was just so good in real.
Yeah.
I don't know what else. Like, I can't use any more adjectives. It's just
don't need to look at the picture. It's really good.
And was Mark there purely as a participant this year, or was he there in any judging capacity? Oh, nice. So did he bring a big old selection with him?
Yeah. So he had the Thinker, which is like a Sherlock Holmes kind of looking character, going like this.
Yeah.
And in historical, it's probably the best painted face in the show, I would say. This one's only a half face, so hard to say. But yeah, had a really good display in fantasy with this bust, our bust, Batman, and then his own range. He enters in historical, so yeah, really, really cool.
It's nice to
and
see
the
those,
platinum award is how do they describe it? They say it's the best gold or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It's kind of like best of show, best of fantasy. It's like third down from top.
Something like that.
Something like that. It's very high.
I think it's great having that distinction. A lot of other shows that judge in that sort of open style format, not miniature shows, but I mean, the one I'm specifically thinking of is the Chelsea Flower Show. But they, that there are distinctions, just like at the other end of the scale, you might have commended, which is something that's just say missed out on a bronze. It's quite nice to have something that is recognized for being, obviously a gold, but also that notch perhaps above, which I think is great. So just talk briefly about the so how would this have been entered? You mentioned he put it in with some other models and things.
This was in the master painting fantasy. So there's not many traditional categories. If you go in painting, then you're getting judged purely on the painting, and the opposite to that is the open, and that's where the sculpting is judged as well, and that can be your sculpting or it can be a collaboration. So you had people like Maxime Pernot. He did his Nurgle Space Marine, and that was a full scratch, and his paint job. So he put that into open, but this one from Mark is a 3D print, and so yeah, it just goes in the painting category. It's obviously fantasy as opposed to historical. Although I don't know, Wolverine's historical now. It's been in the cinema. And the master level. So you have the master and the standard levels. And yeah, platinum, amazing.
Fantastic. So next up we had, so this was Best of Painting by Remy Tremblay. Now I couldn't find Remy's social account.
It's not actually his name.
That will no. I got that, but I will keep digging, and we will find it.
It's
and we'll
RT Art 25. I'll pop
down
it
in
down in
the
the thing.
in the description. But yes, so explain. So when it's something is entered as best of painting, or sorry, when it's entered into painting, how does that differentiate from entering it into something else?
It's the best of painting. That's what I got last year, and it's the best paint job on a commercial figure, I believe. So you know, you look at the best ofs and they're one-offs. Where there's best of paintings, like, you know, this is the best paint job on a commercial figure. Remy's a sculptor as well. Actually, he sculpts for Call Mini or Not, I believe. He's just a force. I think he's got 3,000 followers on Instagram, and he's just incredible. He won best of painting.
He won it with
year
that
before last.
that historical, not
Athena.
historical,
Yeah.
the Greek thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So he
Cool.
won.
Okay.
He
I
won
know,
2
I
years
know.
ago.
I'm just looking at the account now.
And this is it's just like a painting, right? The face is really, really beautiful. He's painted the face, and you know, the sheer effect that we've seen a few times, but it's really well done. And there's a very convincing reflection of the foot in the water, and that's like an effect we've seen attempted a few times, but it, you know, when you turn it, it works at all angles, and yeah, it just works. You can just about see in the photo, but it was really good in person again, wasn't it? That reflection, Matt.
Yeah. It's it's a very difficult technique to pull off well, and it's convincing, which I think is the hard part.
I think a lot of people thought this might get best of show or best of fantasy. I think everyone knew it was getting one of the bests, and best of painting probably feels right, you know, as a paint the painting style. It's like a classical painting, and it's we always say this is another one you chuck in for the is miniature painting art kind of thing, because it looks just like a painting, really.
No, absolutely. No, lovely piece. Right, should we move on? Should we look at the next one? I'll let you guys lead this very much, because obviously, you know, I wasn't there. Now, best of figure. Now, of course, we've seen this figure painted, have we not?
Yeah, Eric Swinson painted this, and I think we all expected this to get best of fantasy at SMC last year. Eric won best of fantasy, but with a piece with Patrick Masson, which is really nice for those two. But I felt a little bad for Victor, because Victor's an awesome sculptor, and you know, those dual entries, it is the sculptor as much as the painter. Because you know, if you don't have a canvas to paint on, then what are you going to do? So I think that you know, the sculptors need as much love as the painters. But that's this award. They call it best of figure, but it's basically best sculptor. And yeah, amazing to see him win that. I think he really deserved it. So although he didn't get the best of fantasy, it's kind of nice that he got his award on his own. And yeah, I was rooting for this to win. I thought it was it's incredible sculpt.
Absolutely. And remind me, was it a Warcraft character? I can't remember.
It's a card, isn't it? A magic
Magic the
card.
Gathering
Magic.
card, yeah.
That was it.
But that's why it's got the 2D effect coming out the frame, just like the card art. And it's pretty convincing, actually. I think all credit to Eric, his paint job made it look, you know, made the depth work, but getting the sculpt right must have been a real challenge. But yeah, pretty incredible piece, to be honest.
Beautifully presented as well for I won't say just a sculpt, but you know what I mean. Like thinking about
print. Yeah, well, it's a print in a box.
Thinking about how you present your sculpts as well, I think is really, really interesting. And what's it like now with the sort of the sculpt category? Is it, you know, are you seeing the majority now 3D? You know, CAD rather.
Yeah, but it's a mad category over there, isn't it, Matt? It's like loads of stuff, and you know, you've got all the sculptors that work in the industry. Loads of them are there, and they always pick up a ton of awards because there's so many collabs. Because they'll probably have 4 or 5 collabs, and then their own sculpting work separately. So yeah, I think that's one of the really nice things of this show is if you're a sculptor, you can really smash it. And I think Lucas Pina won Best of Show once with just his unpainted sculpts because it was so. When you looked at the show, so many people were painting Lucas Pina sculpts. So for him to get Best of Show was like, well, yeah, he's providing the canvas for everyone. You need to celebrate that, and yeah, and I think that's why it's cool for Victor. We'll be working with Victor in the future, which is cool. But yeah, what a beautiful thing. Nice to see it get the recognition.
Absolutely. Todd's asking in the chat if there's some good galleries and coverage of the entry. So I will pop the link down in the description for the Monte San Savino Instagram account, which is where these images are from. They've got some lovely footage and pictures from the weekend. And then generally you'll be able to go and find the individual artists from there. But as usual, as we spoke about a few weeks ago, if there's an artist or there's a piece you're not sure of, jump on our Discord, ask. Generally, we'll be able to find out who's done it and point you in the right direction. So yeah, best of figure. So it's best of figure, best of sculpting.
Yeah.
Lovely jubbly.
I don't know if they can give it if it's got paint on it as well. I think that's possible.
Yeah. Oh, really?
They just pick the best.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's really cool. I really like seeing it unpainted. I think
that whole room where all the figures are is just mad. There's just so many of them, and it is nice now to see like there's the 3D sculpts that are printed, but there's still the traditional ones as well. Like you get to see them side by side. It's quite nice.
But this is quite interesting, isn't it? Because this is a 3D sculpt, but the choice of color to have had it printed in, and obviously the quality that it's been printed in, it's very sympathetic to what a trad sculpt would look like, isn't it?
Monster clay,
not like orange and stuff.
Yeah, right. It doesn't look like a Mauam suite or whatever.
I think that's cost people in the past. I think I've seen previous years they printed in like a glossy orange and not done so well because you've not been able to see it. Also got a shout out Wilf who made it over, who's used to be a local to us, but he's sort of been doing great at his sculpting, and he managed to pick up a bronze, which was really cool, with a sanguineous jewel, which was cool.
That was cool. I like that one.
Yeah, a lot of people liking that. But yeah, he managed to pick up a bronze, which is really cool.
Excellent. Someone's just saying the Fenric Studios link isn't working in the description. I'll go and have a fiddle with that, but it's Fenric Studios. So if you want to go and look at it right now, type that one in the search bar. But we'll make sure it definitely exists. I promise, because I got the images from it earlier. But yeah, and a great one to go and have a look from. So that was a handful of the best ofs, or the sort of recognised one. And I wanted to close out because this sort of links kind of in with the next one, and something I've deliberately left to the last of these ones because I think it is quite challenging, and I think it's perhaps something people might consider unexpected, but it's also something we saw feature quite heavily in. I believe it was either last year's Monty or last year's SMC. I think it was. And this is miniature art taking a look at social, issues.
The cubes.
Yeah, I can't remember the artist who did that. But anyway, we'll talk about this one for now. Pavel's work, and I again I couldn't find the accounts. I don't know who painted it, whether it was Pavel or Maya, and I don't know, who the sculptor was and whatnot. But yeah, a pretty dark piece, really. Talk about best of creativity. How does this differ from getting, say, best of painting?
Yeah, it's just ideas, right? So it's very small, very simple, but it's very powerful. I think there were two other pieces that stood out that were close to it. So one of them was by Merek Minis, Carla, who's a student of Mark's, and she had done a series of figures and busts, but it was all the same character, and it was the life of a woman. So it started out with a young woman, and she had tattoos, and then she got more tattoos as her life went on, and it goes through from like a teenage woman to an older woman, which was really cool. Presented really nicely, painted all the same way, and that was super powerful as well. I think that was incredibly close to winning. But maybe this simple piece just spoke to people more. So it's done by a vote, the best ofs. So you're not really discussing; it's just pure votes. So this one won by committee, but it's very powerful. And it works at all angles. Actually, you turn it the opposite way, and the shadow effect still works and everything. So quite sad.
So
I guess.
when you talk about to be getting these best ofs, presumably the pieces have won gold, have they, in their respective categories? And then the best of is drawn from that. And can a best of come from that standard?
Yep.
I mean, I assume generally that's not going to be happening with best of painting necessarily.
No.
But something like creativity, as I was saying. So what separates something out for creativity then? Because I know it's a category and award that we chose to add to the MPO because we really liked sort of what it represents.
I guess it's the message, the narrative, the concept, the idea. I heard a really good turn of phrase earlier. It was an Einstein quote, and it was something about everyone can get knowledge, but imagination is more important or whatever. So it's that kind of thing. I'll get the quote. It's good. I just heard it and I was like, oh yeah, that's quite good. So it just occurred to me then.
When I saw this at Monte, badly, I don't know whether what it says about me, but the first thing I thought about was, you remember Sean Locke on his seal clubbing rant?
Jeez. Well, that man was very, very important to a lot of people too.
Yeah.
Fair play. But yeah, so I say I left it to last because I cannot for the life of me remember the artist that did those pieces that Matt mentioned. But again, looking at social issues and scenarios and challenges we're sort of seeing around the world, and again, these competitions, it's, I think, always interesting to see pieces that aren't directly conflict related. I think if you come from this hobby from a gaming standpoint, it's nearly always going to be conflict oriented. And I think one of the great things these shows, and perhaps the large scale stuff, gives people a chance to do is work on stuff that haven't got anything to do with that. And a very tasteful joke in the comments there from Nick, but it did make me laugh. I thought one of the other people we should take a look at was Gabby, who featured quite heavily in our show reviews last year. And again, just what I was talking about there, this idea of miniature art and things having nothing to do necessarily with a conflict or a fantasy world or anything like that. And that's this incredible take on a Vogue magazine cover. It's just so good. Now, I want to one of you mentioned the sculptors earlier. So the sculptor for this was Isabella Miniatures. I would have put that on this slide, but I don't know how to, because I'm a bit shit and I couldn't make it look so good, but I will make sure it's down in the description as well. Yes, literally, this is what it says on the tin. Kirsten Dunst as Marie Antoinette on a Vogue magazine cover, and I'm hoping that QR code went to the front cover. I don't know.
Let's have a look.
But I would I would hope it does. But yeah, I'd love to have seen this. Like,
it does.
It got a lot of attention. There was loads of, because you get the special awards from other shows. And they don't really read them out of the awards, but they put the medal on the piece, and this piece was just covered in other medals from other shows by the end. So, which is really nice to just see. It's like that. It's just nice seeing someone get that appreciation and whatever. And
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I remember it was Gabby who did those tiny little busts, wasn't it? Animal busts last year. And honestly, I still think that's up there with, I can't never remember the guy's name. Is it Jamie? The Pears.
Yeah. man
painting miniatures. I think those two accounts are possibly my favourite things that have come out of the 4 years of doing this show. just because I would never have been exposed to them if we didn't do this show. You know, I'd be so sort of in that,
grimdark.
Well, yeah, grimdark and maybe a bit varying of, it's just been so long, and I could, it makes me want to attend these shows to see them. Again, having MPO was so wonderful, being able to walk around and just see these pieces a few inches from your nose. Yeah, very, very, very jealous. Oh, Gabby's in the chat as well, so that's lovely. So, yeah, nice to see people in the chat that were there as well. I hope everyone had a cracking time. Although outdoors awards ceremony.
Oh, it's chilly.
Brave.
I'd be a big puff for an old grand.
Brave.
Yeah, a lot of discussion about that. So traditionally, it's been held in the theatre, and it's just epic, that ceremony. And yeah, the Monte guys did a great job of quickly adapting. We're just not used to the growth of the show. It's just huge now. I think that the amount of people was almost double the capacity they have in the theatre. So I hope they bring it back. The awards ceremony outside was wonderful because we watched the sunset. But yeah, you can't beat the atmosphere of all the acoustics of the clapping inside. So yeah, hopefully they bring it back. But Monty has to grow. So
I mean, to be fair, so for anyone who's not sure what we're talking about, the awards ceremony traditionally has been in, don't know what the style is actually called, but those classic old theatres with the proscenium arch and the various levels of stalls and in a circle, all that stuff. And it looks, obviously, it's yet another thing that makes this competition just look absolutely wild, on this walled city, a walled town in Tuscany somewhere. But do you know what? The photos I've seen from the outdoors awards ceremony, if you'd never known about the theatre, you'd still probably be saying, wow, this is the coolest, setting for an awards ceremony I've seen.
It was amazing
for a miniature show. So, but yeah, would not be attempting that in the UK at this time of year.
So the capacity of the theatre is 200.
Is that what it says?
Yeah. There's a bit more than 200 in there last time.
I think there was 600 people or something.
Yeah.
Well, they got away with that, so that's all right. Having just booked a much, much larger venue for MPO next year, and all the health and safety and additional paperwork we have to do for it and stuff, I can only imagine what it's been like, in some flipping 200, 300, 400-year-old theatre. Although I don't know, maybe rural Italian. What's the word I'm looking for? Maybe they're a bit more lenient.
I think the fire brigade got in the mix.
How much money Monty brings to Monty brings to that town each year.
Was the cafe on the corner? Someone said that the Monty weekend is 3 to 4 months of revenue.
There you go, right? There you go.
I mean, the amount of beers they sell is absolutely bonkers.
It's wonderful. And guys, if as we're talking about this, you fancy sort of, you think, what is this show? Go and check out, but also do go and check out the last sort of 3 years of coverage we've done of it. In that time, we'll have dug a bit more into the show. It's something we must be careful not to get in the habit of, is assuming people know what we're talking about with these shows. But it's an absolute belter, a real one of the big shows each year that a lot of people aspire to go to. And I saw quite a few familiar American faces flying out to it and stuff, which I thought was fantastic to see those guys out there representing. Yeah, right. We'll be talking a bit about that in a later show. But yeah, an incredible piece. So what else was there? There was another piece Andy wanted to chat about by Hugo.
Yeah, I mean,
another handsome bird there, sitting.
This is the best to show,
hand off that piratey lady. Yeah, not bad, eh?
Well, this is what won it all. Took the whole lot. So.
Oh, so there's still a proper best of. I say proper. There's still a best of show.
This is everything descends from that, yeah.
Right,
but this is
right.
this is the top, the big big boy best of show, which takes into account the sculpting and the painting. And he did both, which is why this is so amazing work. You know, he sculpted this and he painted this, and it's a very rare for someone to have both those skills. And a lot of people hadn't heard of him, and I was sort of saying you've seen Hugo's work, and I was like, but this is a sculptor, by the way. This guy isn't a painter. Do you know what I mean? Like
we
a
featured him
painter.
before, haven't we? I can't remember what about.
He was my pick of the week with his other bust, which was painted in blue with a sword like this.
Right. I'm just looking
had
through
like
the count again and just looking at the Spartan stuff. But yeah, it's hilarious, isn't it? It's like we say, it's like the followers are basically non-existent. And this is one of the best things you'll ever see.
Just the way it goes.
he's been sculpting for Big Child for many years, and he's been the sort of the top sculptor there. And I think he's like, yeah, I'll have a bash at painting.
I'll have to go, Willie.
Hilarious. So cracking account to look through. I'm just doing it now as we're chatting. Actually, I haven't been on there for ages. Oh, I didn't know you did that one. Didn't know you did that samurai one. Sorry, guys, if you're getting a bit of echo and stuff. I know I can hear me in my headphones. I hope that's not too bad for listening to.
I can't hear you.
But yeah, it's the absolute the nuts. What's your favourite bit about it, Matt?
Me?
Yeah.
The bird again.
It is a good looking bird. Andy?
I think the color composition.
The colour's pretty full on, isn't it? I love the sleeve and the sash. Like, how has he got it looking like that shiny satin, leathery satin stuff? Like he looks like he's painted it with like color shift. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's red in the shadows, right, with the yellow.
Oh, cool. But yeah, it's a really, really beautiful sculpt, actually, isn't it? And the more you look at it, the more, God, it's good, isn't it? Got to go and see some of these things.
It's someone who can sculpt and paint that well. It just deserves this prize, right? Best of show. It's really cool. I was obviously judging, and I wanted this to win Best of Show. So when you do the Best of Show, you have over 20 people voting, and it's very thorough. They vote over and over again. So you might start with maybe 20 pieces, and you knock pieces out. So you might do 20 rounds of voting to whittle down. So it's very, very thorough to get to that Best of Show. But I was always putting my vote for this one. So I was really, really happy. I just think it was, I don't know, it was the best.
No, it's lovely, lovely, lovely piece. Right, what's up next? I have no recollection of what the next slide was. There was many of them. Oh, bit of self-indulgence. So it was also the opportunity for us to, or you guys at least, to see a handful of the box arts all in one place. And some of them for the first time in hand. I can't remember.
All of them.
Yeah.
No, but you'd had a couple, hadn't you? I know.
I'd seen them.
We had
no
our
else,
Oh yeah. So yeah, and there they were. There's some Deogard 2 sculpts in the wild there. Will or now Mark in those ones, and then obviously Eric's. Imagine Eric's display was pretty special. And then one more that we haven't shown yet, actually. A lovely paint job on the alternate head sculpt for the Ernkin bust there with the mask, the death mask, which is just friggin' awesome. Yeah, Lucas done a really, really wonderful job on that one. So yeah, how was it to see some of our minis, in what's typically been your favourite show ever?
I mean, it was a weird year for me to not participate, but to judge was amazing, and it was a really different experience, and it still felt fantastic to not enter, but also to bring all the box arts was cool as well. So I felt like I was very much involved in the show super heavily, even though I wasn't participating, which is just really not like me to not participate. But I was involved in a few ways. But yeah, I was just really proud to show off what we had, and it was really nice to for people to just see them and ask about them and things. So yeah, really really cool. So the plan kind of worked
Good
to
stuff.
show them off.
Yeah,
But I'm really grateful for everyone that painted them, like Lucas, Eric. Yeah, it was just really really cool. I couldn't judge them, of course, but I let the other guys choose what they got, which is cool. But yeah, anything where there could be bias, I sort of I didn't get involved. I would say what I think it should have, but ultimately it's for other people to decide. So, in case anyone's wondering, that's how that works.
No, it's good. Can judges enter in Monty?
No,
Good.
no,
Best way.
Good stuff. Agreed.
keep it clean.
So that was it. Monte San Savino. Anything else you wanted to say about the show?
Yes, I would like to just give a shout out to Franchesco Farabi. He basically runs the fantasy side of things. He is there's other people that run Monty and started it, but Francesco, when I first went, I didn't even bring any minis, and I didn't know anyone, and no one knew me. But he was very very welcoming, and I think he is. He's just an amazing person, and he's welcome to everyone who goes, and he knows if you've come to his show that he's kind of welcomes you to the family. And so I was very happy to judge for him, and he basically sent an email to all the judges, and he gave me permission to talk about it. I might do a separate video about it just because it was so good, but he talked about how to judge, and the things that he said just really resonated with me, and I could copy and paste it for the sort of judging ethos for MPO. But yeah, I'll probably do a separate video just talking about that because it's pretty wonderful. But it was not like a criteria or a rubric; it was just an attitude how to judge. And he was like, "There's little things like you aren't the main character. Don't take your views when you're judging other stuff. Just judge it for what it is. Don't project yourself basically onto the judging. All these kind of things." And it was saying, if you have a doubt, you're not sure, be generous. You'll never regret it. And that was really important to read when going into doing this. So and he's just a top guy, and I really appreciate everything he does for the show. And if you go and he pours a shot of mead down you when you turn up, then you'll understand what I mean. So, yeah.
Cracking. Lovely. Well, congratulations again to everyone who entered. And as Andy said there, to everybody who's put on the show. There's a reason why it's so well regarded. And usually that's the people involved. So, yeah, cracking. I'm glad you boys had a lovely, lovely time. And no dramas this time. No,
well,
missing things. Wasn't it last year where like there was quite a lot of vomiting on the plane or something on the way back? And
no, we got struck by lightning.
Yeah, but
on the plane.
I will say, don't hire cars that don't have a traditional ignition switch.
What, you mean like a key that you turn?
Like a key that you turn.
Yeah.
Because stupid hybrid new cars, I don't like them.
Well, if you've not heard of the brand, don't hire it.
Yeah. Well, no, I looked it up. That brand is Vauxhall. It's just the European.
Well,
Lynx and Co.
Link and Co. Or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Where's my car?
The only drama, I guess, is my inbox of people asking me why they didn't get an award. So that's
lovely.
Yeah.
Can't imagine that. Right. So from one of the best regarded historic shows that's been going on for minis to what we hope will become a very well regarded show as well is MPO. This one, the online version. As of this, you've got 4 days left to get your entries in?
Yeah, something like that.
Depending on how early Matt wakes up and how early it can be asked to close off the entry button.
I'll have a sleep in on the Sunday.
But yeah, I think we're over 1,000 entries for MPO Online this year again, which is absolutely wonderful. Fourth iteration? Third? Fourth?
Can't
remember.
Is the 20.
Anyway.
3.
a few of
This is
a
fair,
few,
yeah.
a few of them now. Free to enter, great fun. Celebrate, share what things you are most proud of this year that you have painted. Go and check it out. miniaturepaintingopen.co.uk. Link will be down in the description. You can check it all out, but we'll be doing some reminders this week about it. Closes at the weekend, then the judging teams will be hard at it next week, and we will get the award show recorded and up as soon as we can. And on the award show, we're going through, obviously, some of the miniatures that we love and chatting about it. But we'll also be putting up tickets for the MPO in person, which we mentioned. So 24th, 25th of May next year in Bristol, at the Bristol Beacon, we're going to be. So central Bristol, beautiful location. You can't really see it in that photo, but off to the right, there's a mega old bit of the building, which they've done all the renovations on. And our hall is in that bit of the building, which is really, really cool. But we'll talk more and more about that as we get nearer the time. But it's just nice, Monte, SMC, these shows have inspired us for a long time. So it's quite exciting to be,
So close now as well.
trying to add and enrich that scene. And I think, if we can achieve a fraction of what those guys are doing, then we'll be on to a good one. Kane Hotels all booked. Good lad. That's what we want. Keen beans. Absolute legends. So on to one more thing. Kryler, I will pop this down the link. We spoke about it on the Cult Catch-Up a couple of weeks ago. This is a project our friend Warwick from Harder and Steenbeck is trying to get off the ground. Essentially, it's looking at how just the things that painters, airbrush artists and stuff can achieve, that perhaps matter a little bit more than just painting a canvas. But it's a really, really fantastic course. So go and check that one out down in the description. Which brings us on to Paint Cultists. And I think I'm going to have to get rid of that hashtag, aren't I?
Oh, we can still call it.
Because hashtags are dead.
Well, they will be soon.
Yeah.
So they're killing them all together, yeah?
13th of December, they are killing them.
Why?
Because
just
the Zuck
arseholes.
doesn't like hashtags anymore.
Fuck the Zuck.
They don't like making money or something. They want to make more money some other way.
Probably.
That's it.
Blue tick.
Pay for your tick and do all the rest of it, and promote your minis so people can promote your posts so people can see them. But enough of that. We don't need to get dragged down as that. Paint Cultists, what's it about? Well, traditionally, when Instagram wasn't a crock of shit, it was the idea was you follow this hashtag and it would potentially expose you to different sorts of maybe miniatures companies, painters, styles that you weren't particularly familiar with, that didn't necessarily come up in your feed all the time due to your algorithm and whatnot. And I have no idea how many are on there now, tens of thousands, I think, of stuff. But it's also over the last year particularly really grown over on our Discord channel. Again, the link for that will be down in the description. Our Discord is free. You don't need to be part of our wonderful Patreon to be on there. It's completely free. We intend to keep it free for the foreseeable, unless it catches on fire. Lovely group of like-minded people in there. Todd does a wonderful job looking after it. And actually, after we did the Golden Demon show last month, absolutely exploded in there, which was lovely. So yeah, just want to kind of chill out and chat paint. It's a good one to be in. But there's also a dedicated Paint Cultist section in there, which is where generally I draw just a handful of ones that have jumped out to me from the previous month. So this is my favourites from October. These should have been for the October show, but I thought I'd put them in here because I didn't want to miss them out. And then next show we'll do faves from November and stuff. So either of you boys, Andy, have you got into Discord yet? No. Matt, you're a Discord man.
I'll do it maybe today or tomorrow.
Well, Todd said in the chat he thinks he's fixed your account or something.
Nice.
There we go.
Does that mean it was broken?
Yeah,
I think it's just the
maybe. Let's go with that. What did my our RT department used to call it? Picnic? Problem in chair, not in computer. That was every single time when I would ring up with a problem. And it's probably how Matt feels when I contact him most days. Matt, why isn't this working? Why can't I do it?
I've got painting to do.
So first up, most of the names I've used here, guys, are the names people have used on the Discord rather than their Instagram handles. There's possibly an Orky theme to them. I'm not sure. I think there probably was, given the episode.
What
that
people call it,
for
Norkvember.
Norkvember. That'll work. Definitely can't get misconstrued for anything else on that one. Yeah, cracker, goblin bust, can't go wrong.
Needs to be a stick bomb though, not dynamite.
I don't know. I'm getting really into seeing background, not just like on the desk kind of thing, but something vaguely different in the background of the miniature picture. I don't know what it is. I think it just makes it feel like there's real people out there, and you're not just looking at black or white backgrounds.
Some lovely oil paints.
They're
But,
acrylics,
I think
Matthew.
those are the acrylics, aren't they? Yeah, those are the scale tubes. In fact, is that
I
one
like
of your?
them.
Is that your basically your toothpaste in there, Andy? Bottom right somewhere. Is that one of your? Is it? Is I can't tell.
That looks like my burnt umber,
Does,
yeah.
doesn't it?
Gone through 2 tubes of that, mate.
Good lad. Well, fair enough. I mean, it looks good, doesn't it?
It smells the best.
Does it?
It's the best smelling paint you'll ever buy.
There we go. I mean, scale, you need to clip that one. World-renowned painter Andrew Wardle. This is the best smelling paint I've ever used.
And that's what counts.
How does it taste?
I love it. Browns, I've never found, like, reds used to smell nice. I wonder why. Was I reading earlier? Somebody was talking about acrylic paints and wondering whether there's more or less organic stuff when you move into the sort of artist paints. Because I know the organic matter was one of the reasons you used to get some pretty
it was famous in the
fruity
foundations,
smells, of the GW paints. Lorenz is agreeing, says they also do smell amazing. Oh, next time I'm over yours, mate, we'll have to have a sniffing session.
I was supposed to add one to your package, but I forgot. But
that's all right.
I got you. You're tough, so that's all right, isn't it?
That's the main thing, right? But no, I need to pop over and look at those busts, mate. I'm trying to play it cool, or like, oh yeah, I don't mind. I'll see them whenever, kind of thing. But like, I would really like to see them. I'm actually, to be honest with you, most keen on seeing this jewel you're working on at the minute. I think it's
You can see the hair there,
shaping
that
up
white snake.
pretty tasty, yeah. Except, and everyone's going to be watching now after your admission that you put unreleased things there. Nothing, of course, from Games Workshop under NDA would be back there. Just our stuff that you might not be able to see.
No. They don't send me any anyway, so it's fine.
But yeah, anyway, that's jumping ahead, isn't it? But yeah, so a lovely little piece there by Peter. Next up, now I'm sure this had a story, but it's like over a month ago since I did these slides. So I'm really sorry, Eric.
This is tiny as well.
It's a little owlbear, isn't it? I feel like this was one of those painted it for my sister or my mate or someone's first page or something like that.
My pet owl.
But it's always good to see an owlbear. Never a bad day for that. It just looks super cute, and I enjoy the paint style. You ever painted a big owl? Oh yeah, I was about to say, have you ever painted a big owl? You painted
Did you just say if I ever painted a big owl?
Massive fucking owl, didn't you?
It's just full scale.
I painted the biggest owl.
Well, I was just looking at the face thinking, God, but that's really fun to paint, like all them feathers. And then I started thinking about Mark painting loads of feathers. And I thought, who's another really good large-scale painter I know? Oh, Andy, have you painted any? Yeah, sorry.
Have you ever painted any big owls?
Sorry.
Yeah,
like
mate.
The biggest owl, yeah. Popped down Wyvale and got that absolute whopper. So
down the garden centre.
Yeah, mummy brown. Good colour. Right, but yeah, beautiful. Love this, Eric.
Don't make them like they used to anymore. Those colours, mummy brown.
Gimme. Jim, you absolute ledge. We featured a handful of Jim's stuff over the last sort of 6 months or so. And I think we put his cans up on the last killer cans up on the last episode, and people really liked it. And he very kindly stuck up his whole army shot down in there.
Love the colour scheme.
But honestly, like, just go and look at it. As soon as you get in, mate, go jump into that, whatever it's called, channel. I think you'll really enjoy it. Because do you know what, the thing I've started really enjoying about Discord is it's quite hard to doom scroll it, I found anyway, because it's generally people are engaging with each other on it. So it's not so much of that sort of fire and forget type of attitude. And yeah, it's I don't know, it's just got a very nice, it's that classic sort of old school forum vibe, but a little bit more sort of personal, that coupled with, say, like Messenger or something like that. I hope you'll enjoy it anyway. I think you will. I think people would love to see you in there. I'm sat here painting 2 more Morkanauts for it. Oh, nice one. Oh, there we go. So there's Jim in the chat, Pirate Badger. Yeah, mega. God, I got a hankering to paint some orcs, man. I really do. To finish.
I like seeing him with the blue, black and blue, not black and red.
But I love the skin as well. It's just, yeah, he smashed it. He's absolutely smashed it at this point. This is probably my favourite. Love the presentation. Obviously, it's got rather strong Trench Crusade vibes, which I'm
I
sure.
was going to say, is this from Trench Crusade?
I can't remember, mate. I've seen so much fucking Trench Crusade stuff in the last sort of 3 weeks. Quite
I
rightly,
don't even know what it is.
they've done a incredible job. The team behind that, congratulations to them. Amazing success. Awesome to see. Yeah, like so cool to see. And I really hope 3 million, nearly $4 million. So yeah, really amazing work. You know, a brilliant team behind it. And I just hope, yeah, I'm sure they will live up to it. And I can't wait to see what will come out for it, you know, in the years to come. But yeah, a very grimdark setting. And yeah,
I'll go check it out.
Right up my street.
It's a Kickstarter, is it?
Yeah, it's a game. Wilf's done some sculpts for it. And
I don't know how I've not seen it.
We did some paint stuff for it ages and ages ago before this big one. They did it as a little one. Mike, Francesca, and Francina. John Blanche is involved. Thomas Pyranin's involved. You know, there's good people involved. And yeah, if you're interested, guys, Trench, because I wasn't meant to be talking about Trench Crusade, but it's yes, we'll do some content for it. People have asked as well. It's yeah, really cool. And yeah, just this a great account. This against a very active member of the page of the Discord. Really cool to see. This, oh yeah, do you remember this? Do you remember these little dudes?
Oh yeah,
the little
Roman,
Roman little spacemen. Oh, I haven't seen one of them for ages. And then this popped up, and I mean, look at it. So to put it into perspective, that little dude is like thumbnail sized. I just
through a wormhole.
So what's the? Is it a black hole or what?
Like a black hole wormhole.
It's tinfoil, right?
Yeah.
I am like, that's the bit that I'm loving.
It's the accretion disc.
Oh, there we go. So good. It's so fun, and it's executed so nicely. This is what I'm here for. This is the kind of thing I'm here for, like with the paint cultist stuff.
That's very cool.
Yes, really cool. What did you call it? The excretion? What?
Accretion.
Accretion.
Yeah. Excretion hole.
I thought I misheard you. Sorry.
Accretion disc.
Wait, right, I'll stop googling that.
Tinfoil excretion hole. Google search.
But yeah, if you're interested, guys, Roman Pat, someone we talk about very often on the show, bit of a hero of ours. A couple of years ago, I think now, produced these little astronauts and sort of set people the challenge to come up with little scenarios for them, and it's just spawned so many wonderful, imaginative little vignettes and stuff people have done. They're absolutely awesome. Go and check them out if you are able to. But yeah, I was proper thrilled seeing something like this turn up on the Discord. And then closing it out, I think I saw them in the chat actually. I couldn't not. Firstly, I thought it was a wicked paint job, and obviously it was October, so it felt like the correct one to pop it. Oh, Thomas is in the chat as well. Oh, it's not actually one of Roman's astronauts. Tell us more, Thomas. Talk more. I mean, I don't mind, promoting that whole project because it is incredible. But yeah, Thomas in the chat, tell us about it. Tiny Astronauts. We did a little challenge for them in our Melbourne painting group. Oh, nice. So you guys are part of the Melbourne massive, very, very strong paint scene over in Melbourne. We've been lucky enough to teach a few classes over there over the years and meet some of the crowd. They are, yeah. Well, I think Melbourne's like the artsy city, isn't it? If I'm right, I think it's like Aussie's city of culture or something. I love it. I'd love to go back there, mate. We need to figure something out. It's just a long fucking way to go, isn't it?
Many hours.
But beautiful place, lovely people, and really strong painting scene. Oh boys, maybe we need to get these guys on and have a little natter with them about it, or see what the scene is like over there at the minute. See what's hot. I can't remember. Jared's not Melbourne, is he? One Jared is, but he's moved Canberra now. Find out about that as well. So that's it, guys. I think for Bank it is, and that's it for the show. So if there is anything you would like us to cover, if there are particular accounts that you think we should take a look at, for instance, contact us on all the usual places. We might feature it on the live show. Again, we're still endeavouring to do one of these a month, and then going to the sort of weekly podcast shows as well. We might talk about them on the shorts as well. At the minute, so we are pretty busy with Day of God 2, so that Kickstarter's still got a couple of weeks left to run on it. I've had a bunch of people message me saying they're waiting for payday, which I think is this tomorrow or whatever it is, so I'm quite excited for them to be able to pick up some bits and bobs on there. And so we've got MPO online, that's finishing on the 30th. We'll get the judging done the following week, and we'll get the award show up as soon as we can. So that should be something fun to check out before Christmas. Was there anything else, guys, you wanted to talk about before we pop off?
I think so. Please buy MPO tickets because there's not very many of them. And
yeah, that's going to be. Oh, it's going to be. I'm trying to sort of temper excitement.
More of them
because there's still so many things to get to before that. At that point, Jared's Sydney. That was it. I thought it was.
Yeah, don't mess about on the tickets. If you want to go to the MPO, get the tickets, and it's helpful to us as well.
Might even be some,
pick up the Goblin.
Well, I was going to say there might be some fun little bundles to pick up as well, but we'll talk about that more on the award show. It's a space shuttle astronaut from an Eggplane Miniatures series. Yeah, we'll definitely need to get you guys on for a natter, the Melbourne crew, see what's what and what's going on. So thanks, lads. I've missed doing this. Always gets me pumped for hobby after we chat through it. Monty looked amazing as ever. Yeah.
Good.
Any more sort of exploration with the food for you on this one, though, mate, or still making Italians cry?
Less cry.
Good. Well,
but maybe one or two
beef and
tiers.
pastas, mate. You had a steak.
Yeah, I mean steak, and then
steak was mega. Though,
chocolate mousse in that restaurant in the underground bit.
Yeah. We've got a new favourite restaurant, Henry. So that was nice.
What a restaurant!
Oh dear. I don't know. Well, one day I say hopefully I can bring certain people with me, and then we can get there. I'm sure they'd love to see it all as well. And actually, that's something we'll be talking about the MPO and stuff as well. Is people wanting to simply come and view the show rather than enter? That's absolutely an option. But we'll talk more about that during the award show when the tickets will go up. So check out Day of God 2. Check out MPO online. Check out anything else we've nattered about. So the last few years, down in the playlist, you've got the Cultural Paint playlist. You'll have a bunch of Monte San Savino shows in there if you want to go back and take a look at what's popped up over the last few years on that. So thanks as ever, guys. Thanks, chat. Thanks, chaps. Take care. We'll see you next time.
See you real soon.
Bye.